Hey, what's going on, my friend? Welcome to this week's Money Mission. My name is Josh. I'm going to help you get smarter in your brain so you can make more money. It's going to be amazing. And the stuff we're going to talk about, again, it's not just valuable to you right this second. You get to use it for the next 63 years, maybe 72 years. I don't know. With medicine improving like it is, maybe 119 years, depending on how old you are. This is awesome. You learn it once, you go deep on it, you apply it, and you'll get a result. 100% hands down will get a result. If you feel stuck, don't be discouraged. Go back through. Have fun with the money missions. And sometimes the second or third time you hit one, your creative juices will feel different and you can run with it. So that's why I try to make these, entertaining and educational. Edutainment, right? So it's not as heavy to consume. Today we're going to talk about guarantees, but we're going to do it in a way you probably haven't heard of before. First of all, did you know that a good guarantee can triple your conversion rate on your offer? Triple, 3x, right? Now, people get very nervous about offering these wacky, wild, bold guarantees, maybe because you don't do a good job delivering your service. That could be part of it, but mainly it's just rooted in irrational fear. Studies show over all these different industries that guarantees are only used less than 5% of the time, almost all the time. In a lot of cases, none of the time if you have a small company. So we kind of irrationally get way too stressed out about money back guarantees and different types of risk reversal strategies that we're going to talk about. But don't do that. If you're nervous about it, raise your prices 5%, offer just a bold guarantee, and it will work itself out. You could double or triple your sales if you understand the things we're going to talk about. First thing, if you look at my iPad, we have a picture of a mattress. This is in reference to the company Casper. Casper was a mattress startup company that kind of broke the internet a few years ago and scaled really, really big. The mattress industry, believe it or not, is like between $20 and $30 billion a year. Can you believe that? It's crazy. I mean, it makes sense. Everybody has to sleep somewhere. Casper was selling mattresses on the internet. They ship it to you in a box. It's all vacuum sealed. You unbox it and you let it sit there for a few hours and it fluffs up and then you put it there. But what's crazy about Casper was one of the main reasons that they blew up. They did hundreds of millions in revenue just in a few short years. In fact, they ended up being valued at $750 million just 4 years into the business launching. Their core driver was a very unique guarantee. It's called the 100 Nights of Sleep Guarantee. You can't return your mattress until you've had it at least 30 days. But somewhere between 30 days and 100 days, if you want a refund, they will come to you, box it up, ship it back to themselves. They actually donate it or do something with it. But they make it completely simple and easy. And that risk reversal has a profound effect on our brains, especially when you're buying a higher ticket thing. For everybody watching the Money Mission, if you sell a higher ticket service, this becomes increasingly important to you. The lower the price of something, the less important risk reversal is. If you're going to buy a Snickers bar or something at a gas station and you get one and it's kind of stale or old or something, then nobody really cares, right? Now you can see the fine print where you could probably write Snickers a letter and they would mail you a free Snickers, but who wants to do that for a $2 candy bar? But if you're selling $1,000 services or $2,000 services, or if you have a reoccurring service that's $300-$400 multiple times a month, risk reversal is a big deal. So Casper, they used the take the puppy home strategy, which is kind of in the sales world. It's a technique. And the example they use is if you're at a pet store and you're playing with the puppies, they're like, just take them home, try it out, just bring them back tomorrow. They know that you're not going to come back because now you're emotionally attached to the puppy. Same thing with the mattress. They're like, let us send it to you, just sleep on it, just check it out, just sleep on it. Well, after you unbox the thing and you put the covers on it and you sleep on it, probably feels pretty good. And then you got to wait 30 days to even activate the guarantee. You don't even want to disrupt your life and deal with the return, right? That's why they're so bold with it. And it resulted in almost $1 billion company in 4 years. So if you have a service company, take the puppy home strategy. It doesn't work exactly the same, but it does demonstrate the power of the brain in how humans think. I have this picture of a brain pointing at this little tiny part called the amygdala. This is where your fight or flight response is activated. Now, when you sell your stuff to people, or they're reading your sales copy on your website, or your salesperson's there giving them pricing, what happens is, and this happens to you when you're buying high ticket stuff, it happens to me when I'm buying high ticket stuff, is we get this kind of panicky, I don't know. And then what the customers say is, okay, cool. Let me think about it. Okay, great. Yeah, we're just gathering details. Let me talk to my wife when she gets home. And we're saying that because the amygdala is triggered, right? The amygdala takeover, where we get stressed out. A good guarantee can calm that down entirely when done correctly. It's a huge deal. I'm going to give you a whole bunch of examples to get your juices turning, and then give you some homework here. So let's scroll down. And of course, my iPad cord's not working. That's okay. 3, 2, 1. Pew, pew. There it is. Okay. So here's a few different types of guarantees. Obviously, you have a money back guarantee. Now, when you're thinking through this for your company, don't be boring. Don't do what other people do. Please, for the love of God, don't do that. Do not be white noise. There's no point to do a guarantee unless it stands on its own 2 legs. It's irrefutably different and valuable. Otherwise, don't even mess with it. But you can have a money back guarantee, but we'll put creative juice on it. You can also have the best price guarantee. I don't necessarily recommend that one for the types of marketing that we teach. But it's a thing, and a lot of e-commerce sellers have that. They have a little badge in their cart. Start looking for it when you're buying things on the internet. It'll say best price guarantee, 3 left in stock, best price guarantee, with a little badge and a green check mark next to it. That matters. It matters because the person shopping on that website is thinking, oh crap, am I going to pay $50 more? Because do I need to look at 10 different sites? Should I not? Should I? And this is happening so quickly in our brains. You have lifetime guarantees, depending on what it is that you do. It could be a lifetime of anything, not just a physical manufactured product, but lifetime happiness, lifetime labor. It could be, you're going to have to bend and twist this for your service or business. Then there's free trials. You know, one thing I haven't mentioned is back when I started my cleaning company, we did this service called gutter whitening. Gutter whitening. So in Michigan, or wherever there's a lot of humidity, the white gutters, the outside of the gutters would get covered in this black gunk. And they call it zebra stripes. You can see it on these gutters. And it's really hard to clean for a bunch of nerdy technical reasons. It's called electrostatic bonding. But what we would do after I started experimenting with these types of marketing and psychology things was we would do a free sample of gutter whitening on every job where the homeowner would let us. Now think of this. They walk outside and they have this gross black thing, and we would clean 3 feet of it. Of course, we would tell them, hey, we can clean this. It's going to look amazing. We can actually show you. Is it okay if we just demonstrate totally for free? We'll just show you. Walk out, clean 3 feet, is sparkling bright white. The rest of it looks dirty. It's kind of diabolical. Kind of diabolical because they sort of like have to pay us to finish it or it looks really weird, right? We always got permission first, but that's an example of a free trial type of guarantee where it's not risky to the homeowner because they're not sure if it's going to be worth it to pay an extra $200 or $300 to do that. Well, we say, hey, we'll do it for free. We'll do a little 3 to 5 feet chunk. You can pick which one. We'll show you before you even have to buy anything. You'll see how amazing it looks, right? Try before you buy. Maybe the example I gave is that. And then bonuses, you can use bonuses as part of a guarantee. For example, if people buy your stuff and they get some bonus, but you could fully refund their price if they're not satisfied, but they get to keep the bonus. Sometimes this is a physical object. I know there was a magazine subscription. I can't remember if it was like Sports Illustrated, I think. And they were kind of failing. And they ran this big campaign where if you got a subscription to Sports Illustrated, they sent you a football phone. You can Google this if you're a nerd. It's interesting. But they had this phone, a landline. This is decades ago. And it was shaped like a football. It was super dorky and cheesy. They sold over almost 2 million subscriptions because people wanted the free bonus and they were willing to pay the subscription just to get the free bonus. But in a way, it's a risk reversal. It doesn't feel as risky to buy when you get this free thing that you can keep even if you cancel the thing you buy. But most people don't cancel, okay? Then we have satisfaction guarantees. Those are my least favorite because it's more subjective. Satisfaction's not a definable target a lot of times. So if you're going to do your guarantee around satisfaction, make it specific. Make it something very specific, right? Like the cleanest oven you've ever seen in your life, satisfaction guarantee, right? Or the cleanest grill. I know there's a guy in Warplane Insiders that cleans grills, right? It could be anything like that, but add some specificity to it and I think it will make it better. And then a service guarantee is, if our service isn't good, we'll continue to work for you for free. If you're not happy with our service, we'll do it again at no charge, et cetera, et cetera. So here's some other ideas I pulled from some of my books. I've been digging for hours looking at different things. Of course, you have the 100% money back guarantee. We'll just start with the vanilla one. Most people have that. We want to use stronger language than that, but let's build on it. We have take it to the bank guarantee. You could call it the take it to the bank 100% money back guarantee. And now it's better than before, right? You have the better than risk-free guarantee. I like that it rhymes. It's better than risk-free. I generally don't like the word better, but better than risk-free guarantee sounds pretty great. The you can't lose guarantee. The unconditional money back guarantee, a 30-day free examination guarantee. Now, I pulled this out of a book that was speaking to physical e-commerce sellers, but I put this in here on purpose because there's a lot of local service business owners in Warplan Insiders, but part of the game here is borrowing from other industries and figuring out how to be more creative and bend ideas around our thing. Okay, then we have the ironclad guarantee, ironclad money back guarantee. You could have the ironclad take it to the bank better than risk-free guarantee. You see, that's pretty good. That could be a thing. And you get a graphic made for it and you put a big badge on it. And now you're the only company that has the ironclad better than free, risk-free guarantee. Okay. 110% call me crazy guarantee. 100% no hassle refund. The $1 million service guarantee. Now, this one is from a little company you may have heard of called LifeLock. LifeLock. They're like an identity theft thing. You see this $1 million service? Their whole guarantee is if your identity gets stolen after you pay us to make sure that doesn't happen, if for some reason it happens, we'll spend up to $1 million on attorneys and private investigators and researchers and whoever to restore and repair your identity and your credit rating and all this stuff. It's a powerful thing. You can see they lead with it on all their commercials. If you notice, some of the best offers, their offer is almost the guarantee, and the guarantee is almost the offer. It's like the main thing that they talk about. They don't talk about the features of all their stuff and the cool buttons and the 32-point encrypted such and such. They talk about the pain of identity theft, how it's happening like crazy. These cyber criminals are everywhere. And they have the $1 million guarantee to restore that for you. That's like the main hook. It's the main thing. It calms the amygdala because, well, what if it still doesn't work? Or what if I pay for it and don't like it? We're taking all those fears off the table through these guarantees. And then below that, we have the forever guarantee, which I have a little kitchen knife next to because that's from the famous direct sales company you might have heard of called Cutco. Cutco, they sell knives. They sell pretty expensive knives. But what they do, if you ever damage your knife or whatever, they'll sharpen it for free. You can mail it back to them. They'll either repair or replace it forever. If you just find a Cutco knife at a flea market and you want it to be fixed up, you can mail it to Cutco. Now, when they rolled this out years ago, there's a whole backstory to it. They had to raise their prices up to accommodate this extra work they'd have to do. There's more logistics. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but it's the thing that catapulted this company to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars in sales. Just one guarantee. It's one of the most critical parts of an offer that local companies leave out. Maybe you've done a good job with a decoy offer and the way that you justify value and you stack value and then the timing and the positioning, your messaging is good, your scripting is getting better, your follow-up and nurture is better. You're doing all this stuff. This could be the linchpin that puts everything over the top for you, depending on what kind of business you have. 30 minutes are free. This was Domino's Pizza. They don't do this anymore, by the way, but it blew the company up. It's what made Domino's Pizza scale. And delivery drivers are getting in accidents and stuff because they're going 100 miles an hour, trying not to be late with the pizza. But the point still stands, right? You picking up what I'm throwing down? Are you feeling me here? And then if you notice the last one on the list, the 10X ROI guarantee. This is actually the guarantee for Warplan Insiders. When I launched this offer, the very first time with our beta group even, it was right there. It was loud and proud, front and center on the page where you enrolled in Warplan Insiders. the ironclad 10x ROI guarantee. If you don't feel like you got 10 times more value than you paid for this program, then Josh will continue to work with you for free until you do. That was a strong guarantee. It's a bold guarantee, right? Risk reversal. Okay, the last example is for home services. If you look in the tiny little text in the corner, it says new home in 30 weeks or $5,000 in cash. That's an example of a startup home builder in California. They had never sold a home. They're a contractor. They started a new company. So with their new company, they had never built a home yet. They knew how to do that, but it was a new company. And all of their advertising they launched with this guarantee. New home in 30 weeks or $5,000 in cash. And the reason they did this was they started doing research on what the most frustrating part was when hiring a contractor, general contractor, or someone to build a house for you. And the biggest problem that they found was that contractors constantly elongate timelines. They never adhere to deadlines. And what ends up happening is people are renting a house while they're waiting for the house to be built, plus they're paying their construction loan, and then they're paying like double payments for extra long. It's very stressful. Budgets get bloated too. So they just started leading with this. They did $7 million in sales their first 8 months with a simple, clear guarantee. And think about this. Let's say they sell a $300,000 house. Okay. And it takes 40 weeks instead of 30. Does something bad happen to them? Does something horrible happen to that company? The answer is no. Probably, if they do a great job, the homeowner won't even mention it, right? And if they do, then they give them $5,000. So build this into your pricing, depending on how aggressive you're going to go with it. Risk reversal is a huge thing, especially if you're selling expensive stuff. So here's kind of the homework and what I'd love you to do. Number one, there's 6 parts to this. I want you to study your competitors' guarantees. A lot of them won't have them, but some of them will. What do they do? What do they offer? We want to make sure that whatever you roll out is hands down 10 times better than anybody else in your market. It has to be over the top, right? We want your competitors to be sickened by your guarantee. Secondly, we want to look at your company's superpower. Now, you might not be the best at every single thing. Maybe you're not the cheapest, but you're really good at this or this. Well, what's the this and this? Maybe we can bridge the guarantee around these distinct advantages that your company has. Maybe it's speed. Maybe it's just the friendly attitude because you're a big culture person and all of your staff is really abnormally friendly and approachable. You could actually weave that into a guarantee. But what are you amazing at? And how can we lean into that as your guarantee? Because we don't want to have a very aggressive guarantee around an area of your business where you struggle. Right? So if you're booked out weeks and weeks and weeks, we don't want your guarantee to really be about speed. It needs to be about something else. So figure out what you think you're the most competitive at. Thirdly, push your limits. You know, I read a quote in one of these books earlier when I was doing research for this money mission, kind of freshening my mind up. And I forget who he said it. It might have been David Ogilvy. But he said, if the founder of a company doesn't get sick to his stomach, then the guarantee isn't good enough. So I need to work on my guarantee. You need to work on your guarantee. Push the boundaries, okay? Don't have a panic attack, but just say, what if? What if this guarantee was true? And you haven't even launched it. You didn't tell it to a potential customer yet. Nothing happened, and your heart's beating, and you're like, oh my God, the 10 times your money back. I pay off all of your debt, and we'll find your weird, creepy daughter a husband guarantee. No, you don't have to do all that, but push the limits on what's possible just to look at it and ask yourself, what if this existed? Would this help us close more deals? Would it lower price resistance, right? Another guarantee I saw earlier was about a children's play set. And one store had this play set for sale for $500. And you take it home and you put it together. It takes you all day Saturday. There you go. But the second store charged $750, but it was for the same exact play set. But the $750 one had a 30-day play with it guarantee, meaning that you go home and you build it. If you don't like it at all, or your kids don't want it, or you want a different one for no reasons, no questions asked, the store will come to your house, disassemble the entire thing, take it back, and give you all of your money back. So you don't even have to do any extra work. That's an aggressive guarantee, but it justifies the higher price because the parent doesn't know if it's going to be like they think, right? So there's all this psychology happening. Okay, next, I want you to name the guarantee something, which I gave you some examples on the previous pages of notes. Plus, you could think of anything you want, but name it something unique to proprietize it to yourself. And then test it in a small way. So before you blast this on your homepage and put it all over social media and reprint all of your estimate sheets and your brochures, start using it. The next 10 jobs that you sell, throw it in there as part of your sales process and see if you can feel anything happening with it. You'll be able to feel, you can feel it. You can see if there's movement happening, if there's value added because of it. And if it's good, then we're going to roll it out in a big way. So when you have a great guarantee, it's not a footnote. It's not an afterthought. It's something you lead with. You be the only company with the such and such guarantee, no hassle, blah, 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 blah. And it's everywhere. It's on your business cards, it's on your websites, it's on your brochures. It could be on the vinyl on your vehicle wraps. You would proclaim it from the universe. But this is after you test it and you know you have a winner. So that's the money mission. I hope your head doesn't explode. I'm excited to see what kind of guarantees you guys come up with. I'm really excited to see people push the boundaries because we're just going to test it for 5 or 10 people. Don't be scared. Do big things. Stand out like a sore thumb and you'll make a lot more money than everybody else who's asleep at the wheel, but that's not you. And until next time, talk to you later.